推荐点击全屏观看。
Hello everyone, I'm Brother Fang. Today I will record the 95th issue of Semiconductors for you. Unknowingly, it has almost reached 100 semiconductors. I believe that in this process, we should also bring a lot of harvest. So we're going to look at a little bit of this whole semiconductor thing. That view remains the same at this location, 3911302. It's not the pinnacle. This means that semiconductors are still a trend pattern of oscillating upwards to new highs. However, in the overall trend pattern during this period, you can see that the K line is the largest number of doji at this position. Therefore, it also means that in the next trend pattern, it is better to have a heavy K line like this. And this K wire must be larger than this black K. Why? Because this black amount represents what the trend is during this period. There is a certain amount of rise and a certain amount of fall, which means it's an empty square architecture. So it needs such volume to do an undertaking for it. Then it means that it will change the trend pattern of the multi-party volume and price structure. Of course, in today's trend pattern, as you can see, basically the transaction volume can be released. Of course, it needs to be confirmed, but obviously the turnover is greater than the turnover. Therefore, once the amount is increased, of course, today's high was 3,825.48. Of course, the semiconductor position is not the highest point. That is, look up with your head raised. And then we can look at innovation. The amplitude in that plate is relatively powerful. But in the trend pattern of the Science and Technology Innovation Board, it is still the trend pattern that the turnover is greater than the turnover. But first we have to confirm the volume, because once the volume is increased, and of course, neither the high point of this position nor the high point of this position is the highest point. So once the volume is increased, of course, that is also head up C. So I just talked about semiconductors and the Technology Innovation Board. That means that the most important thing is still a trend structure of the entire trading volume at the moment. Because as you can see, once the volume is increased, will the average line form a golden fork? Has the golden fork formed on the average line appeared again? Is this the right trend? It's another trend pattern that goes up immediately. So you know why we need to emphasize the need to release volume? Well, let me tell you so much. First, I wish you all a happy weekend in advance. Remember to like it a lot. Pay more attention. Lots of collections.